Doc, patulong po. Gusto ko pong mag-build ng muscles while on low carb, while on keto. Napansin ko po masyado na akong payat and I want to look and feel healthier. I want to build muscles. Very common din itong tinatanong sa atin, very common na ni-request, and I'm so glad to share with you kasi as a low carb advocate, but also someone who regularly works out and someone who's actually building muscles, I'd like to share with you yung tamang pamamaraan paano gawin ito. Ito po si Dr. Iris, Filipino-Canadian medical doctor, nakabase dito sa Vancouver, Canada. Tumutulong sa mga kababayan natin worldwide para ma-adapt nila ang holistic wellness. Isa sa mga pamamaraan is of course yung cornerstone, eating right. And ginagawa natin ito sa pamamagitan ng low carb nutrition and fasting. Minsan sa journey natin ng paglo-low carb and fasting, yung mga ibang community members natin, napapansin na medyo nababawasan yung kanilang timbang more than they'd actually like. Napapansin ng iba na kumukonti yung kanilang muscle mass, and so the question comes in, how do you build muscles while on this lifestyle? So there are 5 important things to consider and i-discuss natin lahat yan ngayon. First thing, knowing your caloric requirement for the day. Para po malaman ito, i-click po natin yung link nandyan sa caption, nandyan sa baba, pakihanap na lang po. This is a link to the Mayo Clinic's Caloric Requirement Calculator. Ito ay nakabase sa ating gender, nakabase ito sa ating height, nakabase ito sa ating edad, sa ating weight, pati na rin sa level of activity. Now, once you know the amount of calories that are needed to maintain yung inyo pong requirement for the day, for purposes of building muscles, you have to add 15% dyan sa number na yan. So kung anumang number ang nakuha po ninyo, add 15%. It's very important to know that you should not gain more than 0.5% weight per week. Ito po ay para maiwasan na yung magigain natin ay taba lamang, so fat. We don't want to gain fat, we want to build muscles. So don't go beyond 0.5% of weight gain per week. Number 2 na kailangan malaman, of course, is our protein requirement. You have to meet your protein requirement for the day. How to compute? The formula is 1.2 to 1.7 grams per kilogram of body weight per day. Itong number po na ito ay on the premise that you will actually be doing exercises that will build your muscles. Para naman sa mga nagki-keto talaga na ayaw mawala sa ketosis, then you can go with 1 gram per kilogram body weight per day. So for example, kayo po ay 50 kilogram female, tapos keto ang gusto ninyo, then you can go with 50 grams of protein per day. The next step is meeting your carb requirement. Kailangan pasok pa rin yung ating net carb allowance per day. So you have to stay with the 50 grams and below of net carb per day. Sa video na ito, malalaman natin kung paano natin mamimit ang ating carb requirements. The next step is meeting your fat requirement. So let's have an example here. For example, kayo po ay female who is 50 kilograms in weight and you're 5 feet in height. Now, based doon sa calculator from Mayo Clinic, you know na yung inyong daily requirement will be 1,750 calories per day. Mag-add tayo dyan ng 15% kasi magbibuild nga tayo ng muscles. So that'll give you around 260 plus na extra calories. So ito po ang magiging total requirement ninyo for the day, taking into account na gusto ninyo mag-build ng muscles. So now first, punta muna tayo sa inyong protein requirement. Let's use the 1.5 grams per kilogram body weight. So sa weight po ninyong 50 kilograms, that's gonna give you 75 grams of proteins. And then for the carbs requirement, let's say you're gonna go for a net carb allowance of 50 grams net carb per day. So now to compute the fat, we have to add both the protein requirement, so yung 75 grams, add that to the net carb allowance, which is 50 grams. It's gonna give you 125 grams per day of protein and carbs. Now, remember that 1 gram of protein and 1 gram of carb will yield 4 calories of energy. So, multiplying 125 grams by 4 will give you 500 calories. So, ngayon, ito yung suma total na calories na makukuha po ninyo doon sa inyong protein requirement and inyong carb requirement for the day. Ngayon, ang gagawin natin dyan is ibabawas natin yung ating proteins and fat calories. So this amount minus yung ating 500 calories from proteins and carbs will give us this amount that we will then divide by 9 to give us the grams of fat na kailangan natin. The rest kasi ng ating caloric requirement will be coming from fat. So that's how you compute your fat requirement for the day. So the next very important requirement in building muscles is actually the act of doing it. Now we have the energy fuel. Alam natin na meron na tayong tamang amount ng energy na pumapasok. Now we have to actually build muscle. So how do we do this? Well, we have to do this by resistance training exercises. Hindi po basta-bastang cardio exercises lamang. Hindi tayo makakapag-build ng muscles just by jogging, or by doing the treadmill exercises, or by doing high interval training exercises. Ang pagbibuild po ng muscle is done by resistance training, weight training. So ano-ano mga pwede natin gawin? We can do pull-ups, push-ups, we can do bench presses, we can do weights. It's a good thing to invest kung meron tayong resources. Let's invest in getting a coach to guide us sa tamang muscle building exercises para safe po natin itong magawa. Frequency of doing this, not less than 2 times a week po, so that we can ensure proper muscle building. And finally, kung gusto po talaga ninyo mag-build ng muscles, you have to get enough sleep. Whenever you don't meet your sleep requirements, which is 7 to 9 hours per day, iba't ibang tao, iba't ibang pangangailangan, but this is the benchmark number. Pag hindi po natin yan nami-meet, ano po ang nangyayari? Tumataas si cortisol. So the stress hormone prevents us from building muscles. Yung mga muscles nagiging fat. Kaya yung iba nagtataka, they are doing low carb and fasting. They are getting thinner, kaya lang medyo flabby. Yun kasi ay medyo stressful ang pamumuhay, hindi natutulog ng maayos. This will obviously contribute sa physical aspect ng ating kalusugan, and specifically it will affect our muscle building. So those are the important things to consider if you want to build muscle sa lifestyle nating ito. Kung kailangan ng extra gabay, join our communities. Lalo na po sa community ko, we are always encouraging movement. We encourage muscle building. Para po sa PDF food guide, plus other resources and trainings, lalo na yung parating na abs challenge po matatagpuan sa levelupwithdriris.com. Join lang po kayo para mapasama sa waitlist. Libre po ang mga trainings dito. The trainings go beyond just health. Meron din tayong level up wealth trainings and even mental health trainings. Trainings about leadership, communication, at marami pang iba. Pili lang po kung ano ang naangko para sa inyo. As always, I am wishing you holistic wellness. Level up po lagi, stay healthy, and stay low carb.